It's DSP's most disappointing games of 2012. Number 1. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Now here is the very definition of an underwhelming stinker. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City was heavily promoted by Capcom for almost a year until its release. This was supposed to be a game where for the very first time you can run and gun. It was supposed to be the more friendly version of Resident Evil. For the first time you could actually use really action-based combat mechanics against some of your favorite Resident Evil monsters and characters. You've got the zombies, the hunters, it has Mr. X, it has the Tyrant, it has all these classic Resident Evil characters. And also for the very first time, you're playing as the villains. You're actually playing as a hypothetical Umbrella team of assassins who were in Raccoon City during the events of Resident Evil 2. And it's your mission to complete certain objectives. At certain points, you're actually hunting down some of the heroes of the Resident Evil series, such as Leon Kennedy. And it's a very interesting premise. The game also touted full 4-player co-op over the internet, which was a cool asset. So for me, jumping into this with my friends and my girlfriend, this was a really cool opportunity. We were all huge fans of Resident Evil. And at first we were starting to like the game until we realized a few things. Number 1, the game was extremely generic. Even if you had a character who had certain class abilities, it was pretty much generic third-person run-and-gun gameplay. There was nothing really unique or interesting about it. In fact, a lot of us actually compared the game to SOCOM, and it really, when we said that, we was like, you know what? This game does kind of feel like just SOCOM with zombies. Then, of course, the reasoning is, guess what? The people who developed this game were the developers of SOCOM. So really all they did was cut and paste the gameplay from SOCOM and put it into the Resident Evil universe. But then, the ultimate reason why this game is just a slap in the face of gamers and it's a completely unacceptable practice. The campaign of the game is only 4.5 hours long. A full $60 retail game with only a 4.5 hour playtime. What? Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we said. Now the game also came with a free chapter installment of a DLC featuring the heroes of the Resident Evil universe. That's right, you could play the flip side and play as people like Leon and Jill, etc. It was a hero side campaign. But what ended up happening was only the first chapter was a free DLC for buying the retail game. You had to pay to unlock the other campaign. So actually this game does have 2 campaigns, and apparently if you play them both, the game can be anywhere from 9 to 10 hours long. The problem is they charge you for the second half of the game. So let me get this straight yet again. $60 retail game from Capcom, you don't get the full game, you have to pay more money to unlock it. This was one of the many games this year where Capcom did this, Asura's Wrath and Street Fighter Cross Tekken being the other 2 prominent ones. Capcom just really screwed the pooch this year. What were they thinking, double dipping and trying to double charge customers for $60 retail games they've already paid for? In addition, the online play, extremely boring, extremely repetitive. It's nothing that you would play after a single session or 2. It was just a big flop. Here's a game that was massive hype, massive potential to be good. It was actually one of the games I was looking forward to the most this year, and ended up being one of the biggest disappointments of my gaming career. Capcom, you fucked up for 2 years in a row now. Get your motherfucking act together and start worrying about putting out quality content for the people who buy your games rather than trying to line your pockets with DLC dollars. Enough is enough. I am glad that countdown is over, and I am really approaching 2013 with a major positive attitude, because a lot of the games that people were looking forward to in 2012 seem to have been delayed into the first quarter of the year. So I am really hoping, with fingers and toes crossed, that these games that we've been waiting for quite some time end up being worth the dollars, end up being quality titles that we all love, and that 2013 turns out to be a much better year than the disappointing 2012. Thanks a lot for watching the most disappointing games of the year, and I'll see you later.